ready?
Yeah, I'm good.
All right, cool. Hold on, let me take a sip of my tea. What it do, Marmadukes? We're gonna do a simple One Piece discussion talking about the first two episodes of the One Piece live action. I was about to call it an anime until I realized it's not an anime. It's just One Piece live action. And then we're here with my best buddy, my Brendan. Wait, my Brendan.
What the hell?
My brother, Brendan, aka HV Nimbus. Round of applause.
Gosh, I can't believe you did that.
Look, it's because I'm coming off of doing 13 hours yesterday at work and then having to go back again at 12 o'clock today and getting home at like 9 o'clock. So I'm kind of sleepy, but at the same time, I'm also wide awake as well. And I think it's because I know I'm off tomorrow, so I'm good.
Okay.
But yeah, we're going to talk about the first two episodes of the One Piece live action that's on Netflix. That's literally the best anime to live action adaptation we've ever gotten in our lives. And we're gonna start off with episode 1. And I'm actually gonna go scene by scene. Is that cool with you?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Maybe I might skip over a few parts here or fast forward through a few parts. But in the first scene, it opens up with the One Piece mat of the Grand Line. And I don't know if you're aware, but you actually see, you know that cow sea beast or sea king?
Is it there?
Yeah,
Where?
it's like right on the map and like kind of like the corner. I'm scared. I'm scared to bring up Netflix because I don't want to get sued or anything because I ain't got the money for it.
You can bring it up as long as it's like
Pause.
only like paused or a couple of seconds just to get to your point. You know what I mean?
All right, B. If I get in trouble for this, I'm blaming you.
Okay, just bring it up. Pause, bro. Pictures are allowed.
King of the One Piece Luffy, you are correct, sir. So Brody in the comment section says the live action was crazy good. I was literally just telling him that. It's literally probably my favorite live action. It's not. I ain't gonna say probably. It is. It's my favorite live action adaptation.
I mean, yeah. For anime adaptations, I haven't seen all anime adaptations yet. But for Netflix, this is the best.
That's why.
I hope they didn't hear that.
Mm.
So let's see here.
You know what? Let me turn off my music because I'm hearing it way too loud.
Alright, so about to bring it up now.
Goodbye, T-Pain.
I'm listening to T-Pain's too. I really want to meet T-Pain.
Well, he's actually live right now.
I believe it. Alright, so let's see if I can bring this up here. Because it was like a quick glimpse. And I was like, oh snap, it's the Sea King, the Cow Sea King.
Yeah. Because I was just... Me and Amani were talking about that. We were saying how, one... Okay, this is for later episodes, but how... when they were along Park, one, Hachi wasn't there, and two, the Sea King wasn't there.
True. And I like Hachi too, and I was kind of upset he wasn't there, but that's gonna take a lot of like animation to get him right. All right, so here he is. I got him right here. He's in the bottom left hand corner. Like,
he's a picture.
Yeah, he was a little picture there. I was like, oh, snap, it's him. Look at, he's just
okay.
He looks so adorable. He's just
noticed that.
My biggest question is, was he born with that nose ring?
Yeah,
he has to be, right?
No, I'm gonna have to say no, and then that the nose ring is meaning that somebody owns him.
But he's a Sea King though, so no one can control the Sea Kings except Shirahoshi.
Well, actually, I don't think he's a sea king. I think he's a sea beast.
You right. He could be a sea beast. True, the sea kings. Well, Lord of the
Because
Coast is a sea king though. So I was gonna say because they're bigger.
the sea king, you used to have sea kings right there on your screen. The middle picture, the top row.
Yeah.
Those are the sea kings. They're tall. Actually, that's on the thing too. On the right side of the intro, where you saw the sea cow.
Oh yeah, you do see it. Oh snap! Hold on, let me bring him back up.
Yeah,
Here he is. He's like
yeah, he
right
right
there.
there.
Oh snap!
See?
Easter eggs. Easter eggs. That's dope. No, but I thought Sea Kings, because the Lord of the Coast is smaller than these guys, but he's still considered a Sea King.
Huh?
I think it's Moo Moo, right?
Yeah.
Momu.
Momu, Mumu, Momu.
Alright, let's check the fan wiki. It's a giant sea cat. Okay, yeah, it's a sea beast.
Yeah.
Alright, it's a sea beast. Okay, then that makes perfect sense then.
Because Hachi had or Arlong had perfect control over it. It made Arlong scared the sea cow.
That makes sense. Alright, so yeah, we open up with that, which is dope, because you get some little Easter eggs. I was actually looking to see what islands is on here, like on the map too, that we probably know of. And the only one that actually appears is, of course, we know, like, we hear about the island later on in the episode, but Six Island.
What island?
Six Island? Hold on. See if I can bring that. Six's Island. There it is. So this one right here. So Six's Island, for what people don't know, that is the island that what's his name? Ace found his devil fruit at. Like, you gotta read it in the Ace light novel, but that's where he found the Mayor Marinomi with his right hand man Mass Deuce. And then so scene continues going on, and then we go into Logtown, for Roger's execution that happened 22 years before the main story takes place. And we hear Garp speaking to the crowd, saying that the Marines and the world government are here to protect them from the pirates and stuff like that. And I actually found that line pretty interesting because it's almost like a Uncle Sam pointing at the finger, like pointing with the finger saying, "We want you," type of deal.
Right.
Where it just sounds suspicious, but at the same time, it's just like, "We're here for you," but at the same time, you're like, "Are you really?" Like, I kind of got that feel. What you think? What feel you got from that?
Nah, you actually described it well. That's actually sounds exactly how it feels, bro. Where is
Oh, did my stream just randomly stop?
that's what
Because on my end, it's still saying I'm live, but
you're still alive.
yeah, I think my stream just stopped.
It might have had a hiccup.
That is so weird. Good thing I was recording. Good thing I'm recording too, because that would have been
Uh,
crazy if I would have left that. Oh yeah, it came back because even all my comments are here. So hopefully, but we're still recording, so we're safe. But yeah, so we open up with that scene with Garp, and then if you notice, did you pan through the crowd and see who's all there?
and during the execution,
Yeah.
what I saw that Shanks was there, Mihawk was there. I tried to look for Buggy, but I don't think I saw Buggy there.
I think we had to look hard for Buggy, but I seen smoke. Did you see Smoker? Like a young smoker?
I don't think I saw a young smoker.
Did you see the scene with that little kid in a green jacket with a red shirt just kind of running through the crowd?
Was that there?
It was like a really, really quick scene, but the camera kind of followed him for a little bit.
I think so. That was the scene to try to get our attention to the execution site, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I barely remember that. Was that supposed
So
to be Smoker?
yeah, that was Smoker, and I didn't even realize that was Smoker until I actually had to go back and kind of look at it because I was trying to figure out like why were they showing this kid so often. And so what I did was I went back and I just like I didn't say I went back on like the clip, but I went and looked up like, okay, who was all there for sure at Roger's execution? Because I was like, I know this kid is familiar, and at the
In the
same,
live action, right?
yeah, because I was like,
Okay.
this kid looks so familiar. I actually did forget Smoker was there until I looked it up, and it was like, and I looked, and then once I found it, it said Smoker, Kid Smoker was there.
Smoker. Oh right. Didn't he come from Lodgetown, whatever?
Yeah,
Okay. So yeah, he would be there for the execution.
yep, he was there for the execution. So I'm like, oh snap, it's Smoker. And then apparently Dragon is there too.
Okay, I don't know how Dragon's there.
So you know the whole not Dragon, well Dragon is there. You know the scene where they was kind of panning away from the execution stand? You see like a guy in a green, like kind of like hoodie-ish thing, like cloak.
Okay, you saw the people. I definitely did not see.
Yep, so Dragon was there. Uh so I didn't know this person was It was Crocodile who I was thinking of. And
Crocodile was the one running through.
no, so actually, do you know the theory of Croco Mom? Remember that chick? Remember we was doing the interviews and that one girl dressed as Crocodile and I kept calling her Croco Mom.
Yeah.
So so the theory goes because you know Crocodile has a secret, and the only person who knows that secret is Ivankov, and so the theory goes that Ivankov turned Crocodile from a woman to a man.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and everybody's saying that the female crocodile. Well, you see a female crocodile in the what's it called? In the crowd. Hold on, I'm about to bring it up. Here we go. So got it right here. So this camera kind of like focus in on this one girl, and she does kind of have like crocodile's earrings and slick back esque hair. So everybody saying that's Crocodile.
Oh, let me fix my quality on your stream. That's supposed to be Why is
Yeah,
that supposed to be Crocodile?
because of the Croco Mom theory.
I don't know. I would have called that anybody else but Crocodile.
I can see it.
Is Crocodile supposed to be black?
I I don't know. I thought he just got kind of like tannish skin.
Be honest, ethnicity is important in One Piece now.
So that's because you know how old it is. He literally throws secrets into everything that has to do with One Piece.
Uh-huh.
So everybody's saying this could be the Oda's way of saying that that the theory of Crocodile being a woman is true.
That's possible.
It is possible.
I think it's a weird theory just to say because especially with the fact that you get this one female that's there who has like a crooked type of personality just from the look on her.
True. Like I would stand more behind the theory if because I would. I think this person will have some type of appearance if they get a season two, which I'm pretty sure they will at this point.
Mm-hmm.
And if Crocodile is a woman, cool, okay, confirm the theory there. But at the same time, it's like I'm having a hard time believing that this is proof that Crocodile was a woman, and here's why. If they managed to get pretty much everybody's clothing correct in the live action, how come they didn't do the same thing for Crocodile? Because if we go back and look at Crocodile in the at Roger's execution, we don't really see much.
Is the gold plus the crap? Is the gold plus the like that what the black shirt or brownish shirt supposed to give it away or something?
Not really, because the clothing he has on kind of matches to what he's wearing now, like that fur jacket with a cigarette. So if I would stand more behind it if they had that, but other than that, eh. If it's true, it's true. I really won't. I really don't care.
You know what
But
I'm gonna do?
cool. All right, so we're gonna continue on. So yeah, we see Mihawk, we see Young Shanks, we see Smoker, we see Dragon, and we may have seen Crocodile there. But then I will say this one particular scene I like because after Roger gets like impaled with the spears, what I
Mm-hmm.
liked was like as soon as that happened, everybody just took off running, trying to find a One Piece.
Uh,
And the reason I like that is because it really felt like this was a race to the treasure.
oh yeah.
So I'm like, oh, snap, that's cool, that's cool. So then I think we now. Oh, so do you want to bring up what you said about the narrator?
Okay. I know that. All right, hold on. Okay, yeah, I know that when Roger gets executed, he tells everyone to go find his treasure. And he probably even, if I can't remember the lines exactly, but he probably even said, I left it all in one place, right?
Yeah,
But if the show, as we all know it, because we're the fan base, is called One Piece, how come Roger wasn't the one who told them his treasure is called the One Piece, but everybody in the show knows that it's called the One Piece? Because the next scene, other than the narrator calling it the One Piece, you get Luffy saying, I'm gonna be king of the pirates and I'm gonna find the One Piece.
so my rebuttal to it was, wait, what was I saying? Oh, I
Uh,
said, well, maybe because Shanks was on the Pirate King's crew, him and Buggy, so they was just kind of going around saying like, yeah, it's called the One Piece. So that was my rebuttal to it.
yeah, that's not good enough for me though, because if that's the case, then I feel like Shanks would have called it the One Piece himself. Like, I feel like if whoever named it the One Piece should have been the one to call it the One Piece first. You know what I mean?
True, makes sense there.
Yeah.
So then I was telling B earlier before we started this that
Let me just pull up your stream on my stream. It makes it a whole lot easier.
true.
There we go.
Yay. What's up? So I was on this group in Facebook and I said what you said, saying like I said that one of my friends said that the narrator was the one who called the One Piece, not Roger, so how would people know? and somebody commented on it, say like, well, maybe people already knew it was called the One Piece. But
But
then
that
again, now that I'm actually thinking about it, no one knew what the treasure was to begin with.
exactly the closest that you get to somebody saying One Piece is Roger saying in one place.
That's perfect. So yeah, that's a little, but it's a small little mistake. We can look past it, right?
Even so, mm, no, because it's a keywords give to the whole series. These words are what. Sorry, my grammar's really messed up. But these words are what is driving Luffy and every other pirate out there. You know what I mean?
True.
So naming it something is definitely needed. There is a power in names.
But let's just true, true.
Like naming something really does matter.
But who? So let's just ask this question. I'm gonna ask this question here. Then in the live action, who else besides Luffy and Shanks and Buggy know exactly the treasure's name, the One Piece? Like who actually physically called it the One Piece?
Besides them,
Because then I have a counter argument with that there, where if it was just those three that called it the One Piece, you already have Shanks and Buggy who's already on Roger's crew, and then Shanks could have just told Luffy about it, like while he was visiting Fuchsia Village, and then on top of that, who else? Not Nami. Garp called knows what if Garp knows it's called the One Piece. Roger and Garp are rivals, so of course it makes sense that he would know.
but it doesn't quite. I don't know. Like even if they told them, right?
Mm,
It's still essential to speak it to the public because everyone knows it's called the One Piece now. And why would Garp go out telling everyone, since he's a Marine, hey y'all, the One Piece is real, you know?
well,
Like,
maybe Garp is Whitebeard till we get Whitebeard.
no,
It won't make sense.
it really won't.
All right, you win this round.
But nah, but like Garp can't go as a Marine, he cannot go out saying Roger's treasure, the One Piece,
It's real.
is is real, is not real, or whatever. He named it that he if he gave it a name, that means it is real. Let's put it that far. If Shanks is the one who named it,
Mm.
I think Shanks wouldn't have. I don't think Shanks would have gave the word out there to everyone because I feel like he would only tell certain people and only the worthy he would tell, like how he felt like Luffy was worthy enough to carry his hat.
True.
And as for Buggy, Buggy's greedy. He ain't gonna tell nobody.
So I was a little confused with his because he said he's actively trying to look for the One Piece, but I thought he was looking for what's the bull's name? Captain John.
Uh, that treasure?
Yeah.
I don't know. Like he's been looking for like a couple of different treasures.
Fun fact: we actually meet Captain John in the Philip Bark arc too.
That's Captain John.
Yeah.
Okay, that man had
He looked like a background character, right?
yes, but what you call it? That what's his name? Moria had way too many important characters, dead characters.
Exactly.
He had the samurai that stole the blade from Wano.
Yeah, oars. The original oars.
Yeah, the father. My God. Um.
Captain John, apparently, who's apparently even more important than what we thought of because he's apparently Captain John was on Roxas crew.
Oh, that makes so much more sense. But that means he had a treasure
It makes sense then if he had all that treasure.
because when Buggy was in Impel Down, that was he wanted Luffy's arm. Yeah, that he wanted Luffy's armband for something, right?
Because I think it's supposed to help you find the treasure or something like that.
Yeah, but they never went any further than that.
Nah.
Like it never got brought up anymore.
I feel like he's going to find it by accident.
I feel like Luffy's gonna be the one to take it.
True. You know what? I'm giving high hopes for Buggy. I hope he's the one that truly finds it.
I don't know what Buggy's doing. I don't know what Buggy does. He know what the treasure is exactly, or is he just like guessing? Like, oh, it's treasure. Let me get it.
I want to say he's guessing. All right. So now we're going to move on here. So we're going to flash forward 22 years to present day, and now we see our boy Luffy, who's played by Anaki God Godo. You know, I'm just gonna say his first name, Anaki. Yep, who plays Luffy, and of course he's on his little dinghy talking to the best character in the whole series, the News Coup.
I found that funny. I was like, who is he talking to? Because he sure as hell cannot be talking to us viewers. He cannot be breaking the fourth wall right now.
Nope, he's talking to the News Coup. And he's talking to the News Coup about his dreams and all that of being the Pirate King and sailing the Grand Line. But then Luffy noticed that, you know, his boat's about to sink. And so he jumps into a barrel. And what he says, and Anaki says this one line that actually had me laughing when he's like, "Oh man, this is only my first day." So I was like, so I was literally sitting there thinking, like, so he literally just went out to sea just this morning. He already
And
lost his
I was
boat.
thinking, yeah,
That was
but
hilarious.
yeah, but was he supposed to originally lose his boat like in the anime?
Yeah, he lost his boat. How did he lose his boat in the anime?
I thought he kept that thing until he met Alvida and Kobe. He messed up her ship, and then they left on his little tiny raft, and that's or dinghy, and they go where they find Zoro and everything. And then when they get back, that dinghy is what is Zoro comes back to. Remember?
True.
He was like, "Where's your ship?" He was like, "Right here." That little thing. Yeah.
I gotta rewatch the first episode again because I completely forgot.
See?
Wait, I can just pull this up, right? Nah, that's too much work to do. I'll do it later. So yeah, he loses his dinghy because it has a little hole in it, jumps into a barrel, and then we go for a little further into the day, and we see a navy battle. Is that the term for it? Two ships fighting, a navy battle,
Yeah. It's two
and
navy. Well, it's two ships on water,
all right, cool,
battling out. So yeah, it's gonna be a navy battle.
nice. So we have that, and then we see some random pirates and the Alvida pirates and we finally meet Alvida, who I thought was actually pretty cool. I like the way how she was portrayed.
Yeah. I was like, I wonder how they're gonna slim her down later.
You know, it'd be kind of crazy. I ain't gonna say crazy, but it'd be kind of dope if like the current actress for Alvida, she actually like goes on a whole like strict diet because she wants to continue playing the character, and then that was
Uh-huh.
like they're the same people. That would be kind of cool.
Yeah, but looking at the actress now,
Hmm.
I'm thinking they probably made her wear a fat suit a little bit.
Possibly because she wasn't as big, but it's like it's One Piece, so character proportions you gotta take that with a grain of salt.
Yeah, no.
Because damn near every female character in One Piece is missing a few ribs.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
But I like the way how she's portrayed in this one. And
Uh,
she has a bounty of 5 million berries. And she's looking, apparently, she's looking for Zoro, which I'm surprised that she's doing that there because she wasn't looking for Zoro originally, like in the original series, right?
I don't think so. What was she doing? I can't remember what she was doing.
I
But
think
I
then
don't
he just
know.
like kind of end up on her ship a little bit.
Yeah, he like I think they came cross paths or something, and or maybe he was sinking or something, and he got on their ship and he took her lifeboat at that point. Maybe he did. I don't know.
Yeah, so
But
apparently
I don't
she,
think he.
hmm,
I don't. Yeah, I don't think he went. I don't think he hid in the barrel at first. That was my only thing. I don't think he hid in the barrel. I think,
he just kind of ended up in the barrel.
yeah, I don't think his ship sank and he hid in the barrel. I think, I think her ship may have hit his. I can't remember how the anime went. I think her ship may have hit him, and he
Hmm.
got in the barrel. I don't know. I'm confused now.
Well, I
I
guess
make
we gotta
myself.
rewatch One Piece again. I'm okay with it. I'm here for it. I did it during 2020. I could do it again in 2023.
Oh
And so
my
yeah,
god.
so apparently Alvito was looking for Zoro, and then we finally meet the man, the myth, the legend, Kobe, which that was kind of cool, and not this Kobe. No, no, not that Kobe. We're talking about this Kobe, wimpy Kobe. Look like he goes to HU type Kobe.
Yo, it's crazy how he had a growth spurt
Literally in
after,
2 months.
right? He was like, "I'm now that I'm brave, I need to be taller."
Exactly. But you know what? It kind of goes back to I think this is something that Otis said where he said depending like the reason like it's either he said it or someone made the theory on this. It's one of the two. Someone in the comments correct me if I'm wrong on this one. But what they either they or Otis said is that the reason why some characters look weird and or like almost like when I say weird, but like yeah, I'll say weird, dried out, or just not strong compared to other characters who look like strong as like super strong Diesel, always constantly in their like their prime, is
Mhm.
because the people who are in their prime always still like they have their dream that they're holding on to, where the ones who don't look like they're in their prime no longer has a dream, so that's why they look like that. So that kind of explained why like Kobe had like maybe Kobe had that big glow up, whereas like when he was on Alvita, like captured on Alvita's ship, he didn't have no hope of escaping. So he looks like that. But then when he finally escaped, Luffy gave him hopes and everything like that. He joins the Marines, so like I'm gonna be the best Marine out there. And that's when he had the glow up. Do you agree with that one?
Yeah, I can. Yeah, I guess so because Whitebeard stayed the same shape the whole time, all the way to his death. So,
True. So yeah, so we meet Kobe, who's played by Morgan Davies, and yeah, so Morgan, no, not Morgan. Kobe was a chore boy originally for Alvita's ship, and he runs into Luffy pretty much, like at the bottom of the ship of Alvita's ship,
hmm
and Kobe was about to scream. Luffy stops him from screaming. Is like, "Yo, help me get off the ship," kind of, sort of, like in a way, in a way. And so Luffy, like, was it Kobe shows Luffy where the that lifeboats are at, and then Luffy picks up like an oar and he swings it around and he accidentally hits like a piece of the ship or a bell of the ship, and it wakes everybody up. And Alvida's about to fight Luffy. Well, Alvida tells Kobe to go back on her side, and Luffy pretty much just called her a fat fuck and said no.
Yep.
And they start brawling. What did you like about that scene overall?
The fact that Luffy really did not give a fuck.
True.
He literally said, "Okay, so what do you want me to do about you? Like, you're not anyone important to me. I'm going to be king. You're nothing."
He literally just told her, remember my name.
Exactly. Like, you should know who I am.
Luffy about to drop
Lit-
that fire ass mixtape.
oh my god. Literally, Luffy is gives off main character vibes. Like, literally does not care about anybody else. He makes his decision and just goes with it.
I ain't gonna lie, if I ever get into a fight with somebody and they say remember my name, I'm turning down the fight immediately. That fight is not worth it.
I need to see how well they throw a punch first. Then I'll turn down the fight.
I'm not even waiting for that punch. He said the minute he says remember my name, I'm like, you won.
Remember my name.
Oh, you won that fight. That's all you there, buddy.
You know
It's
what?
mm-hmm,
Sorry, I just saw it right above your head on your stream. The This is just a side note.
mm-hmm.
I'm a slight bit disappointed in the transponder snails.
But how
I like
realistic can you make them though?
I mean, they can be that realistic. I'm fine with that how realistic they are. And the fact that you actually have to feed them, that's cool too.
Yeah,
You
because they're
know?
alive.
Yeah. But the only thing, it was always me, because I always got this stuck in my head now. The ring for the snails
Better,
and
better,
the
better.
yes, and the click when
Hey,
you answer like those were the
gotcha.
best things to me. Yep.
No lie, I found a gold transponder like iPhone, like AirPod case.
Hmm.
Hold on.
I'm sorry. I just had to say that because that was the one thing I was like, oh, they don't sound exactly how I imagined them to sound.
I feel like I spelled that all wrong. There it is. I spelled peace wrong, but it's fine.
Peeve.
But yeah, I found like the gold transponder snail. Bro, look at the freaking
Oh,
price for it.
how much is it?
Three hundred
Oh,
dollars.
is it made out of real gold?
I don't know, and I'm not spending the money for it. And I'm kind of pissed off because I remember finding a link for them, and at the time it was like $30, and I was like, I'm buying it. But now apparently, but it looks like I want it though. I still want it.
I'm about to say the one up there in the middle is cheaper. Oh yeah, out of stock. Dang.
Where it? Oh, true. That's $68. I want it though. So where do we leave off at? Oh yeah, so
Yeah.
they Luffy and Alvida are fighting, and we finally see Luffy's gum powers, and I ain't gonna lie, I like it. I
I
truly like it.
I'm okay with it. I'm actually it's not bad, but I understand I understand that production, but you got budgets and all that. But my only problem is if you are going to call out your attack, do not make it so long. That's the only problem I have with it. I feel like Luffy can fight so much faster than the way they're portraying it. But I understand that budget is a thing. But sometimes I feel like you need to let it. I don't know. To me, I just don't like how weak or slow they made Luffy seem when you know he's a lot stronger and faster.
So maybe I could change your mind on this. If you got into a fight with somebody, right, and this dude yells out gum and just stretch his arm back, are you really going to take the time to like, all right, let me beat up this nigga, or you're going to be like, wait, hold on, what the fuck's he doing? So you literally just gonna pause? And you're gonna pause for a minute, right? Just like, what the hell?
Uh, Even if someone's okay, let me be honest. We're all anime nerds. So the moment we see a certain attack, we're going to be like, "Oh, I think I know what this is." So you're going to move a certain way
That's true.
automatically. So if I see somebody stretch their arm back,
Oh, this
I'm
nigga, the
most
sun god Nika.
I'm most likely going to either run towards them, and at the very last second, I am going to duck or move to the side to catch. I mean, let's be honest. Who made a fool out of Luffy? I forget who. He threw his punch at some Buggy. He threw his punch at Buggy and it went past him because he just separated and literally he hit Luffy. That's it. You know what I mean?
True. Yeah. But here's the thing though about Buggy. He has a devil fruit power, so he's not gonna be as shocked about it. He's like, oh, he got devil fruit power too. Nice.
Understandable, but I feel like even if you have a devil fruit power, you have to be shocked about the ability itself. Like you don't know what you're going against unless you already mess with it. Well, I mean, come on, he was already messing with Luffy to begin with, so he kind of knew he was rubber.
True. All right.
But yeah, it's just the thing. I don't know.
So then, yeah. So where we leave off at?
This water tastes weird.
All right. So yeah, yep. Luffy and Alvida are fighting. Luffy wins, of course, because he's the main character. Oh, so
Yeah,
we have a flashback, and we go back 10 years, and we see Kid Luffy at Future Village, and he's excited because Shanks is back, who's played by Peter Gabbett.
Gat, Gadit, Gadiot. I
Gabiot?
don't know.
Yeah, there's an I in it. Gabiot.
I think so.
And then we get a. Hold on, let me just bring up the red hair pirate first.
You said they're oh, you said they might be brothers. Uh huh. Monty was saying the person who plays Shanks and the person who plays Buggy might be brothers.
That would be so perfect. I hope they
Yeah.
are because that would make a lot of sense for them to be like brothers in real life.
Who? Oh, it's not Shanks. It's Mihawk.
That's even better.
It'll be Buggy and Mihawk.
Oh, but no, okay, never mind.
Nah.
Nah, that now that's like okay, but they're not gonna meet in real life.
Actually,
Well, meet in the well, they might meet in the anime.
haven't they? They did.
Oh, they did when they was at Marineford,
Marine
and
Ford.
cause what's his name? Not Shanks. Mihawk couldn't slice him up.
Yeah, he swung and he like separated real quick. He knew who was coming. But
All
that's
right,
why they were saying Bucky was so invincible against Mihawk.
cause you can't slice him up.
Exactly.
So yeah, we meet the red hair pirates, and we get a full look at Yasopp. Did you see Ben Beckman?
I did, but they didn't show him off that well.
I'll be 100 frank with you. I didn't even know that was Ben Beckman until I finally saw the scarf, and I'm like, "Is that Ben Beckman?" Once I realized, I saw the credits, and he said the actor's name was Ben Beckman. I was like, "I'm sorry, but Ben Beckman's not that fat.
Was he fat?
He was kind of chunky."
Uh, I didn't think he was that fat. I thought he was what's it? Um, I thought he was skinny. Not skinny. Okay, maybe I'm thinking about somebody else. Am I wrong?
I'm just gonna do this real quick.
I can't be wrong.
I didn't know that was all in one episode. I'm kind of fast forwarding through my Netflix side,
Uh-huh.
and I didn't realize that him eating the gum gum fruit was in the same episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we meet Ben Beckman, we meet Lucky Roo, which I'm glad they didn't just bring in like an extremely overweight guy for Lucky Roo. Yasop looked pretty dope. That was kind of cool.
Yes, yo, they did him well.
B, it's
Like
you.
he wasn't the way how even he seemed in why is it, you know what, I'm gonna fix this later.
You know, I feel like my stream kept stopping because I kept bringing up the Netflix thing, so I'm just not gonna do it.
Okay.
I love how he eats the whole thing and he's able to tell quickly and gets that.
That's what I say. Um Luffy doesn't really say the thing is nasty, the devil fruit's nasty.
But he did have like a disgusted look on his face.
Yeah, but he didn't like, everybody does the bleh.
Yeah, yeah.
Like after eating the one bite, most of them wanna like they usually like swallow the rest of it whole real quick. Luffy just kept on eating.
He was probably hungry. True. This is literally the clearest picture I can get. But yeah,
Okay.
that's Lucky Roo right here. We got Shanks. Which I ain't gonna lie,
That's Shanks.
I
Okay.
do like the person they chose for Shanks, but he looks like a person cosplaying as what's a dude from Fairy Tale?
Guild Arts.
Yeah, he looks like he's cosplaying as Gildars, but he's cosplaying Gildars, cosplaying Shanks.
I'm about to say they're the same person. But yeah, I think I saw. No, what? I don't even think I saw him in that scene. I saw him during the fight scene.
What, Shanks?
No,
No.
Beckman.
Yeah, when he did the that cool trick shot, I thought that was kind of dope though. I ain't gonna lie. So yeah, we
Yeah,
meet.
when Yasop did that, he was in the background.
Yo, because he was just sitting there like, "No, I don't want to fight." Yes, I'll help. All right, I'm here to help.
Yeah.
So yeah, we meet the red hair pirates because Luffy's excited to see them again. And so yeah, we see Yasop, Ben Beckman, Lucky Roo, who they all look good. I still gotta get used to Ben Beckman because he just looks like an old guy trying to cosplay as Ben Beckman. And then Luffy's trying to convince Shanks to let him join his crew, saying that but Shanks keeps saying that no, because the seas is not for a kid. Which I'm kind of glad they said that and not saying anything about Yuta, who's only like what, a year or two older than Luffy.
Uh-huh.
So I'm glad they just kind of kept it original like that.
Instead of putting her in there, like she was always
Yeah,
supposed to be there.
yeah. Because then let's just say someone who's like they love the live action, so they're gonna go and watch the anime and they see that Yuta's not there. Then that'd be like, so where's this chick at? So I'm kind of glad they just kept it original to the original story.
Hmm.
And so, after Shanks says tells Luffy that the seas is too dangerous for a kid, Luffy, to prove how tough he is, stabs himself in the cheek.
Yes.
How did you feel
That
about that scene?
I thought that scene was try hearted too much. Like, okay, it's great. Like, okay, the determination that the little kid showed and the determination that Luffy showed in the anime matched.
Mm-hmm.
Like that right there is sort of matched. But when the live action kid, live action kid Luffy, straight up like did a quick slice
Mm-hmm.
to the side and showed that he cut himself. We all know real kids in real life would not sit there like, yeah, I just did this. You see what I did? Yeah, you see what I did with the blood still dripping down. Yet in the anime, you and in manga, Luffy cried. He sat there and said, he screamed.
Yeah. Like I
That's my
would
only
say,
thing.
I would
That's the
I
only thing I have on.
oh
That's
go.
it.
I agree with you on that because I would even say like back to when you were saying about like a little kid in real life won't do it. I feel like a little kid in real life just be like, "I'm gonna do it, don't you do it? I'm gonna do it, don't you do it?" And then like slowly pull the thing up to their face, but then they
Yes.
realize I ain't gonna do it.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like that's what the live action Luffy should have done. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna do it, even if they did do it, like do it by accident and say, "Oh no, I did it." Like I don't know.
I
It could have
feel
been done better.
I feel like they thought about that, like thought about trying to do it that way, but then you're gonna have people like us as One Piece fans are gonna be kind of critical, like, well, he didn't like think about it in the manga, he just kind of did it, and then be extra critical on that, and they'd be like, well, 2 stars because they didn't get that one scene right.
Uh. I don't know. It could have been. I just really do feel like it could have been better, but it was how it's supposed to happen. So I'm okay with that. I have no qualms with that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I liked how Shanks still, when Luffy stabbed himself, uh, he was still concerned. Like he immediately like, what have you done? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like he should have been a little bit more overly concerned, but
He probably knew Luffy's a tough kid, so he's like going to be slightly concerned, but not all the way.
yeah, I just feel like he could have been just a little bit more concerned because a kid just stabbed himself in the face,
True.
but then he had to stitch him up, so it all worked out.
True, true. I agree with you on that.
Yeah.
So then I believe the flashback ends after Luffy does that, and Shanks is checking up on him. And then Luffy's explaining to Kobe that well, no, so Luffy, no, because they asked him that a little bit later. Oh no, doesn't Luffy ask him what's his dream on Alvita ship, or they was back in the dinghy when he asked that question?
Uh, Kobe's.
Yeah, actually, I think I have it noted down here too. Hold up.
How?
Yeah, okay. So pretty much, all right, because I did take my notes on it, so I'm pretty accurate with it. So Kobe, asks Luffy what's he doing, pretty much what's he's like doing on the ship and stuff like that. And Kobe, well, not Kobe, Luffy basically tells him, "Oh, I'm a pirate," but he also kind of tells like Kobe, he's not like a stereotypical pirate. He's more like the best way to describe it, the adventurous type pirate, because Luffy does make a point of a lot of times, both in the live action, the anime, and the manga, that the only reason he chose being a pirate is because pirates got the most freedom. But he's not like a bad guy at all. Even though he doesn't say he's not like Luffy himself says he's not a hero, but we all know he's a hero. And
Right.
and so like yep. So Luffy explains to Kobe that the pirate life is fun, and he likes the fact of how free a pirate can be. And then Luffy tries to convince Kobe to leave the ship. Oh wait, we already kind of went through this a little bit. That
Yeah.
then yeah they fight like they wake up Alvida, they fight Alvida for a little bit, Gum Pistol, and pushes Alvida off the ship. All right, so then we finally meet the right hand man to Luffy. Not quite yet though, which is Roronoa Zoro, who is portrayed by Makuna or yeah, no Makenya, and he's at a shrine. Oddly enough, at Six's Island, where apparently not apparently Six's Island is where Ace got his Marino. Man, I mean, I had to sit there really think about it to make sure I get it just right.
Mm-mm.
So apparently, someone said they're gonna show me a Gum pistol. You might want to say pause on that because I don't know what you mean by saying you're gonna show me a Gum pistol.
What?
Exactly. It was like I'll show you a Gum pistol. I'm like pause.
Um.
Yeah. So yeah, Rono Zoro said like he's at a shrine, right? He's lighting candles, and this dude walks up behind Zoro, and apparently that was Mister Seven.
A person walks up behind Zoro,
Yeah,
and which scene is this?
this was at Six's Island when they finally introduced Zoro,
Yeah,
and if you
that's
notice,
Mr. Seven. Who's Mr. Seven?
so Mister Seven, this was explained in the SBS where Zoro was approached to join.
Yeah, I
Uh,
remember this.
yeah, and then but Zoro killed somebody from that group, and it was Mister Seven. And so in
Oh,
the
and there's a
anime, Mister
new
Seven,
Mr.
yeah,
Seven.
he had that little red sunglasses, the seven
Yeah,
for his eyebrows and stuff like that. But then, but
because
Mister
Zoro.
Seven is now a black dude with dreadlocks.
Okay, yeah, because Zoro did. He even mentioned when they first got like to what that cactus island. I can't remember.
Uh,
This is an anime.
Elbaf,
Sorry.
not Elbaf. Vivi's Island, right?
Yeah, but it's like on the edge. It's like on the outskirts of Alabasta. It's not
Yeah.
Alabasta. That town when they fight Baroque Works. He mentioned right as he was about right before they fought him that I y'all sent me an invitation once or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
He knew because they were surprised by how much he knew.
True. He's like, well, Zoro, how you know this guy? Oh, killed one of their teammates.
Exactly. I got an invitation, and everything. I just flipped them off.
Which I'm surprised they managed to introduce Baroque words this early. Which I feel like they're taking. I feel like the creators like older than them for the live action. What they wanted to do was like they wanted to drop certain things early
that
enough just in case they do get renewed for season two. But at the
that's what I
same
was
time, they
saying.
left a lot of things out just in case they don't get renewed for season two.
Yeah, I was thinking like maybe he's putting everything that is supposed to be there
Mm-hmm.
and like time like uh what's the word? Chronologically or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And so he's putting everything in place that way like you're not getting blindsided with new information over and over.
Yeah. Just keep it safe on the safe side, just in case, which I like.
Yeah.
Because if you know Baroque's works, you know Baroque's works because you're a One Piece fan. But if you're new to it, that's like a good segue into like, hey, go read the manga or watch the anime and know what Baroque's works is.
Mm, yeah, exactly.
So then, yep, we meet Mister Seven. He tries to like bring Zoro onto Baroque works and work with them. And correct me if I'm wrong if I think this is a little bit of foreshadowing. But when Zoro says I'm only interested in being number one, I felt like that was kind of like a slide nod to like, hey, this dude's about to fight Mr. One. Das boned.
Oh, yeah, it could be because he would have. If Zoro actually did join, he would have said, "All right, I'm gonna have to be y'all boss because y'all kind of weak."
Exactly. Which I was excited. That I was happy for that. I felt. Do you think I was kind of overlooking that a little bit?
Um, mm, a lot of people would say
Oh, so some someone in the chat said shout out to Shadow over here. He said, well, he or she said, or they said, in the manga, is apparently Zoro did want to be the boss in general, and he's saying the theory is Zoro just thought Mister One would just be the overall leader.
yeah.
So Zoro
Makes
just probably thought that until he actually met him. So that makes a lot of sense. Thanks, homie. I appreciate you. Make sure you follow the stream. Right now we're at 119. You could be 120 right now if you hit that follow button. Hit that follow button so you can be number 120.
Mhm.
And yeah, so that was pretty cool. And then they fight and all that just to kind of give us some like foreseeing of what Zoro can actually like. Didn't what's his name? Like Kenya can actually do with some swords, which I thought he was actually pretty decent with the swords and all that. And I do like the fact that what up though? I do like the fact that they didn't have Zoro constantly using three sword style. Like he only did it just pretty much to win the fight.
Uh, I like three.
Thanks for the
I
follow,
think,
homie.
I think three sword style is in the anime. It was more necessary
Mm-hmm.
because he was trying to go up against his childhood friend, the girl,
Mm-hmm.
and he was trying to beat her. So he said, "If I can't beat you with two swords, I'll beat you with three." So that makes more sense. But as you see, they only, like you said, they only use three in the live action. They only may have him use three sword styles
Mm-hmm.
to like make a decisive hit and win in the fight. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's usually to turn the tides or to end the fight. Like how he thought, all right, if I like when he just fought Mihawk, in the anime you saw him fight with all three. In the live action, he only used all three for the last move, 3,000 worlds.
Yeah, so pretty much this is gonna be a decisive thing.
Yeah, so he only uses three sword styles for the final move.
So yeah, you gotta watch the live action. It's actually really good in my personal opinion. So at the beginning of the stream I said that critique wise I would give it a 7.5 out of 10, which is still good. But if I were to just completely take my critiques out and I'm just going in just to watch it, I will actually give it a perfect 10. And the only reason I would give it a perfect 10 because to me it's one of the best uh live action like anime adaptations. And then someone in the comments here said they're thinking of the part of the live action, like wait, hold on, I'm just gonna read word for word. I'm thinking part of the live action issue with three swords is being able to speak while having a sword in the mouth. He does use three sword for Onigiri in the manga versus Mihawk, but the move well no against Mihawk the move before he gets stabbed. So yeah, but again, like I don't think they're gonna do too crazy with it, with like trying to have Zoro talk with three swords in his mouth, because again, it's
I think that's supposed to be all battle.
yeah, that'll be that like if it's like I think if he goes with three swords, like what B was saying, it's just gonna be strictly just fighting, no really like I'm gonna have to talk and see. Like I'm gonna have to talk in basic anime knowledge. Let me talk in the middle of the fight to show my dominance and so I can tell you my backstory.
If he does want to talk, I feel like he'll talk in his head, and it's
Mm-hmm.
usually like to either strategize or for as in anime just to call out your move.
I mean, but all good fighters call out their fighting moves
I hate that they kept bringing that up.
because it's true. Oh, is Naruto getting a live action?
it. I think the Japanese already did a live action.
Are they doing a new one then?
Or maybe I'm wrong.
They said cap. So yeah, let's fast forward here because we do got to get to the games pretty soon. So I think we might just do episode 1 tonight.
How long have we been talking? Oh, we've been talking for a whole hour, haven't we?
Yep.
Wow.
So then, let's just fast forward a little bit. So yeah, we meet Zoro. He's fighting Mr. Seven. Uh, Kobe is asking Luffy about his gum powers, and then we kind of do another flashback of when Luffy's eating the gum fruit for the first time, and then one of the bandits show up. What's his name? Higama. Yeah, Higama comes into the bar. You know, pretty much trying to cause trouble and stuff like that. Mess with Shanks. Shanks pretty much just like, you're not worth my time trying to fight him. Like you're not worth the time. I'm not wasting my hockey on you. And Higama runs like a little bitch. And then so let's skip over to the Nami scene when we finally get introduced to Nami, who's played by Enemy Rude or Rudd. And I thought this was pretty interesting, but did you notice the clothes she was wearing?
Which the first time?
Yeah.
I noticed that their clothes kept changing every single like every
I don't
few
know about
scenes.
that right, but whatever. Mm-hmm.
I'm
So the
I
clothes
don't
she
know.
wearing was actually for Nami's original concept design.
Was that what she was wearing?
Yeah.
She was okay.
I'm gonna look this up because apparently they saying the Naruto live action is supposed to be coming out at some point next year.
Let me look this up.
Oh, Naruto live action 2024.
That's a trailer? Okay, someone has messed with my settings. Because the fact that I keep typing
What?
Where'd you go? Black Ops sent a message for you, but you weren't.
is that just fan made?
Well, I went to lecture Naruto.
I don't know. I kind of hope not because it actually looks pretty cool.
I think this is what I may have been talking about. That thought was already out. Nah, this is different.
Yeah, because they're doing because trying to explain Naruto in a whole movie is going to be so long. It's going to automatically be shit.
If you try to explain Naruto in a movie version, it's going to be like three, four, five different movies.
It has to be. Like the first movie can be from Naruto getting the becoming a ninja up until the end of the Zabuza arc. But they can do with Netflix, they just do different like series and all that. Not series, but different episodes. Yep, so someone said the outfits for the live action are taken from Oda's color walks. Yep, so Nami's original concept design was supposed to be for this, and that's how they first showed her, which I thought that was pretty cool. And then, hold on, someone sent me a text about the Naruto live action.
Okay, let's try this one last time.
Go grab this. General. Alright, so here it is. Is Naruto getting a live action adaptation explained? Oh, so it is in development. So that's pretty cool.
Okay.
What the hell's wrong with his headband? It's pissing me off, damn it.
Why is it like someone a kid carved that in?
It don't even look like the leaf symbol. I mean, overall, Kid looks pretty cool. Like, he looks like Naruto. Where's the whiskers at? This just better be AI art.
It might be.
I'm definitely going to look at it a little bit later on, too. But it seems like so far saying that it is in development. Lionsgate secured the rights to the franchise as early as 2015, with Michael Gracie, the director of The Greatest Showman. He might be helping out with it. But 2017, it says the Naruto script was passed, so they kind of got somewhat green-lighted with that. You know, I'm here for it if this is true. If this is true, I am here for it. Because One Piece gave me hope.
Okay.
That's true. So, yep. Thank you for the text. Not only are they rivals, they're best friends too. And then so yeah, I mean if One Piece is doing this well, I will say for live action they shouldn't make it movies, especially for the longer series. It shouldn't be movies. It should be like how One Piece is doing it, like an hour long each episode, and then you don't have to like, yeah, you can kind of skip past certain things there to make it quick.
Uh, yeah.
So yeah, so back to it. So Hugo comes into the bar, picks a fight with Shanks. Shanks basically said, "You're not worth my hockey," and so yeah, we finally meet Nami, who's wearing the concept clothing for Nami's original design, and which I thought she looked kind of great in it, in my personal opinion. I simped for her for a little bit, especially in the glasses scene when she was wearing those glasses. I was like, "Hey,
Oh my God. Of
show
course
me
you
where the
would.
One Piece is on you." You like that?
I'm gonna let you play. I'm just gonna let you go. I'm gonna let you go.
Cause it was good. It was smooth.
I'm gonna let you go.
So then we're gonna flash forward to Shellstown, and this is where the 153rd Marine Branch is located, and we finally see, Kobe and Luffy looking at the bounty wall, and we see kind of like more Easter eggs in there. Where let me see if I can pull out the bounty wall. So here it is. So we see Foxy's bounty a little bit. We see Bellamy's bounty. I think we actually see Cavendish. Yep, we see Cavendish's bounty. See if I can zoom it in a little bit. No, I can't. But yeah, we see Cavendish's bounty. Which
Oh, I didn't even see Cavendish's.
his was hitting, which actually makes a lot of sense because you understand. Cavendish's story, right?
Yeah, the
Like
whole
he,
fact that he's two split personalities and the other one is crazy.
well, not even that on why he hates Luffy
Oh yeah,
at
I know
first.
why he hates Luffy. Because he stole his no. Yeah, he stole his fame.
Exactly, and it kind of makes sense that Cavendish's posters are getting kind of covered up by everybody else's now, cause like, and then now Luffy's about to get over, like he's about to get overshadowed by Luffy. So I thought that was kind of like a cool little scene there. Was like if you pay attention, his bounty poster is getting covered up slowly.
Yeah, exactly.
So that was pretty cool.
Hmm.
The other ones are like,
You're right. His value will be a lot higher than everybody else's in East Blue. So yeah, we see the bounty wall there, and then Luffy and Kobe they enter into a bar, and they're just having lunch. And I like the fact they showcase Luffy's character a little more on like how he's always hungry. Where
Yeah.
like the waiter brings the food, Kobe's like, "No, we're good." And Luffy was like, "No, no, no, more is better." So I like that. And then
Exactly.
Zoro walks in, and I thought this was actually kind of funny because at first I was wondering why because you can see that he's carrying Mr. Seven's body there, but I was like,
Yeah.
why does it look smaller than the actual person? And then I had to go back and rewatch their fight. He actually slices
His
Mr.
head off.
Seven, not even his head, like he slices his top torso off. So
Oh,
that's why
right.
the
Yeah.
bag looks smaller.
He only took the top half. He ain't take the bottom half.
Which I was like, okay, that's kind of cool. Yeah, and I was like, that's funny. And then we also see Nami there. Nami got the ultimate Riz, where she's like risen up a Marine right now. But we figure out what she was actually really trying to do. And then
Right.
this little girl shows up, and I forgot the little girl's name, but she's also in the manga and the anime too. And she gives Zoro rice balls,
Uh-huh.
and the man, the myth, the legend, Helmeppo walks in, and I like the dude that's playing Helmeppo. Honestly, he looks like a prick.
That's what I was about to say. He
Rika's her name. Thank you.
when
The little
he
girl's name was Rika.
oh,
Thank you.
but
So, yep, go
yeah,
ahead.
the dude who was playing I can never say this man's name correctly.
Helmeppo.
Helmeppo. All
So
right, there
think
we go.
of so the way how I learned it is hell and then hippo.
Okay.
Hell and then just put it together. Helmeppo.
All right, Helmeppo. Anyway, he reminded me of the little girl off of Charlie and the Chocolate Factory when his hair is cut like that.
I can see it.
The little snobby girl in the blue.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The one
the
that turns into the
personality.
blueberry.
Yes, the personality, everything. The personality and the look. Until he starts to learn how to be a better man, he straight up reminded me of that little girl.
And the chocolate factory. I forgot the blueberry girl name.
I did too.
Violet's her name.
Yeah, there you go.
You know what? I can see it. I can see it. They literally do kind of look the same. They're both wearing blue and white. So yeah,
Yes.
I'm calling her Helmeppo for that one. But I ain't gonna lie, I actually liked Helmeppo in this series, in this adaptation. And so the little girl bumps into Helmeppo. Helmeppo pretty much threatens the little girl. Zero sees all of this, and he protects the little girl because she tried to feed him. Rika is her name.
Right.
Let me pull her up. I feel like she's important. There she is, little Rika. But if you notice though, the scene's a little bit different because in the anime and manga, Zoro's already tied up where she tries
Yeah.
to feed him, but this time it's in a bar. Again, I don't really think it takes away too much just changing the scenery a little bit because it still kind of gets the point across.
Did he pick it up and eat it?
Yeah. So he picks it up and eats it. He says it's good. I feel like it probably did taste good.
I think it says a lot more if it's outside and not in the bar.
True, because he's refusing to eat because he's doing that 7 day thing.
Yes. That's a lot. It's a lot more significant because he literally chose not to eat. And she literally made food for him, brought it, snuck into the yard just so she can give it to him
You're right.
and for it to all be denied right there.
I couldn't understand where you was coming from when you first said this, when we was talking about this a few days ago about it.
Yeah.
But now I get where you're coming from with it.
Yes, exactly. I was like, I understand that y'all can change it, but it's still like it's a heart piece when you if you watch if once you watch the anime and then you watch the live action, it's a real like a heart piece. Like you really want to see you really like you're gonna enjoy the anime version better than the live action.
True, I agree with that. So you
Yeah.
hear that? Make sure you guys watch the original if you guys haven't. And so yeah, it was it. The little girl bumps into Helmeppo, drops her plate of food. Helmeppo wants to fight Zoro, and Zoro takes him up on the offer. And the Marines at the bar starts to jump in as well because you know Helmeppo. A lot of people like if you guys don't notice, he's the son of Captain X Hand Morgan himself, who we're going to get to in a little bit here. And so that's why he has a bunch of Marines around him because he's, you know, pretty much a daddy's boy, pampered and all that there. And then
Even though
let's
he's
go back to
pampered.
Nami real quick. So like I said before, Nami was risen up a Marine, but once Helmeppo and Zoro starts fighting, pretty much Nami knocks out that Marine, takes her clothes, like takes his clothes, and then because we're gonna like we find out later on that it's because he's trying to also sneak into the Marine base. As same as well, which I never explained, because Luffy is actually trying to sneak into the Marine base to look for a map of the Grand Line. Same thing with Nami. Sorry for yawning. And then let's see here. So, do you have any problems with that scene there? Like when Nami risen up the person? Because I thought that was kind of cool. She's playing spy.
That's exactly what she would have done. Just as like I understood exactly what was going on. I was like, okay, she's trying to get something out of him. Then she knocked him out. And like, oh, okay, she's gonna take the uniform. All right,
It,
that's cool. But the only problem I did have with her like taking the uniform, I was like, is there any female officers there? That was my only
right.
problem.
Because
I was like, you're the only female.
the uniform oddly fit her perfectly, too.
Uh huh.
But then again, this is a live action One Piece, and One Piece is a goofy ass anime, so pretty much anything happens in that. So I get
That
it.
okay, that's true. I let that one slide. It was just I just found that funny. I was like, okay, she took a man's uniform and she's gonna be the only female officer. Like nobody's gonna notice this.
Nope. I mean,
Like
we
you're
do
gonna be the
meet
only
one
one in the
female officer
building.
there. We meet one female officer later on, but that's pretty much it. Let's see here. Oh yeah, so she riz up the Marine, get the uniform, like knocks him out, takes the uniform, and then Luffy and Kobe are both checking out Zoro fight. You know, Luffy is excited and stuff like that because he's like, wow, he's a pretty good fighter. I want him on my crew. And Zoro's pretty much fighting 1v a whole football team
Right.
and soloing all of them. And then you know, Luffy, like I said, gets excited about it. And Helmeppo eventually ends up pleading with Zoro, saying that his father's ex-hand Morgan, and he can give him whatever he wants. And then Lorfo's, and then not I said Lorfo, like I literally combined Luffy and Zoro together. Oh, wow, don't laugh at me,
Lord,
Lorfo. So Zoro is like he's excited to meet, not excited, but he's like basically saying like your dad owes me money because again, remember he offed uh Mr. Seven, so he's there to collect his bounty. Because Zoro's epithet is Pirate Hunter Zoro. So before he joined the Straw Hat Pirates, he was a bounty hunter in the East Blue collecting pirates for money.
right.
So now we go over to the Marine base where we finally meet Axe Hand Morgan. I like the fact that was like the first thing that popped up. as soon as I type in Axe. But yeah, we finally meet Axe Morgan, who I thought was actually portrayed pretty well. It was like he was a perfect combination of goofy and serious.
He was. Um, but he was still like, I won't say he was a corrupt captain, but he was like,
He,
mm,
instead of being corrupt, he was just lying a lot.
yeah, because you find out later on that he was supposed to be the one to take out Captain Kuro.
Yeah, you found out, of course, he's still alive.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I was just like, wondering, like, I was like, okay, how has he stayed a captain for so long with this type of attitude, like this type of,
Mm-hmm. But
and
then,
then
go ahead.
um, like then you have like then you have his son Helmeppo always coming in and saying like, daddy, I this man hit me or whatever. You need to do something about him.
Daddy, this
in
man
the
keeps hitting me.
in the anime, you got he'll say like, oh whatever, I don't care about you, just whatever. In the live action, he's somewhat a bit more respectful to his son,
Yeah, he
but he
just,
still hits him with the axe hand.
which I ain't gonna lie, like, again, I know this is supposed to be actors acting, but that backhand slap looked real fake.
Yeah,
But I ain't gonna complain about it. That's just me.
yeah, exactly.
But yeah, I agree with you on that. Yeah, like, and I feel like in the live, like I agree with you with the live action. X-Hand, he seems nicer compared to the anime and manga counterpart. Like he's still a dick, but he just seems he's almost as like a Usopp type character. The best way to put it.
Yeah, I wanted him to be more fearsome.
Yeah, he's not like scary. Like he seems like the type where it's like he's the type of boss that he's always lying about his stories, but yet it's like he's still a cool guy somewhat.
Like he's lying about, say, like Usopp, he's lying about his escapades, but he still has the power to back it up. So you're like, okay, maybe he actually did this.
Exactly. It's like maybe he did it. Maybe he did it. Like you don't know because you know when he said that he was drinking a beer upside down while ziplining, I was like, come on, that can't be real. But he might have. He might have. He is a drinker. Like it's kind of like that.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah. So we finally meet X-Hand Morgan. He's impressed with Zoro's fighting capabilities, but he has to be held accountable for his actions for being up all those Marines. So he pretty much tells him like, hey, you just gotta kind of like, I'm gonna tie you up for like 7 days in the courtyard, or take this position with me and join my Marines. Zoro prefers, being tied up for 7 days because he doesn't like the Marines. And he's also doing it to protect the little girl, Rika.
Hmm.
And then Luffy, we go back to Luffy and Kobe sitting on their dinghy. That sounds so wrong. Pause. But they're sitting on the dinghy and they're just kind of thinking about the fight and all that. And I didn't even realize this because I was also trying to figure out like how did Luffy come out of the sewers when he ran into Zoro. But then I finally realized, like when I went back to rewatch the first episode, do you see the camera slightly pan over to like a drain that Luffy notices? And then I was like, oh, okay, so that's how he snuck in.
Yeah. And
Agreed, Mr. Shadow. Agreed. He said the office set for Axiom Morgan looked dope, and I thought it really did. Axiom's office.
right. His office looked like what is the word I'm looking for?
Like a final boss type office.
Yeah.
That's the best one I could pull up there. Because I did like the fact that you see different type of axes hanging on the wall.
He changes his hand.
He's like, "Nah, I'm not going. I'm going with this one this time." But yeah, let's see here. We're going to kind of fast forward a little bit more because we got to get to the games. And then, so yeah, Zoro, like Luffy. So we're going to go to the scene where Zoro's tied up now in the courtyard. And then Helmepo walks up with two guards. And he's holding Zoro's Wano Ichimonji, which is the white sword that he got from his childhood friend, which we're going to discuss next stream, most likely.
Mm-hmm.
And then, Zoro's pissed off about it because, that's his baby there. And then we go back to Nami, and she's, golden eyeing right now, trying to sneak into the base. And she runs into another female officer, but at the same time, she also runs into the guy that she knocks out and steals the uniform. But before we get there, we see Luffy coming out the drain sewage, and he sees Zoro. And let's see here. Luffy tells Zoro that he recognized him from the bar, and he's like basically like, "Hey, join my crew." Zoro says no, he doesn't want to play pirates, but we all know he ends up. And then
Yeah.
let's see here. Yeah, okay, I said all that till next page. I'm just reading through my notes here.
No.
And then
All right.
so basically like Luffy unties Zoro from the pole, which I thought that's a little bit different there. Because yeah, Luffy unties Zoro from the pole itself in the anime, but he gets his swords first before he does that, where in the live action,
Yeah.
Zoro gets his swords back himself.
Exactly. That's why I was like, okay, Luffy's supposed to go inside the Marine base, go get the swords, and before he gives them to Zoro to untie him, or before he unties him, he makes him agree, all right, you gotta be part of my crew first.
Exactly. And then that's how Zoro agrees because he gets him his swords. Where in this one, it's like Zoro's like, "Oh, Luffy's actually pretty cool guy, so I'm gonna follow him."
Yeah. I mean, I don't think a friendship, or not even a friendship, I don't think loyalty can happen that fast. Even if you did just help me out of like a rough spot, like real quick, you know?
Yeah, but you can see in the live action. I mean, like he has the loyalty there, but you can tell it's not quite there yet. Whereas, like, I'm only gonna help this guy out because he got my sword. Like he set me free, and then they just happen to run to the same shit because they're both trying to escape. But then you can see throughout each episode that Zoro's like respect for Luffy is like it's showing more and more. Where in the anime, it's like this guy got my swords back. I'm gonna follow him for the rest of my journey.
Well, I mean, I think it's a little bit more than that in the anime.
Yeah,
Right?
true. I mean, it does show up a little bit more in the anime, but still, though, it was kind of like this guy got me my swords back. You're my captain now.
So yeah, Zoro is the main one who is loyal to Luffy, and it's shown in the anime like countless times.
So Shadow here in the chat said that he liked the little one liner that Luffy says to Kobe where they was trying to sneak into the base, and Luffy says, "I'm gonna just jump. Like, what if I just grab a bird and just fly into the base?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, that was actually pretty funny." And I remember Luffy explaining like doing that in the manga, and then Kubi actually did it in the anime too, which actually that was pretty cool.
Oh, crap.
But yeah, then let's see here. What else is it? So yeah, Nami. So we flash forward to Nami in the map room. She meets the two officers, beats them up, and then Luffy comes crashing in. They kind of have a slight argument because they realize that well, not that they realize that the female officer, because the map that they're looking for the map of the Grand Line, and it's not in the map room because Captain Morgan keeps it personally stashed in his office. And so they're trying to sneak around. They run into Captain Morgan, which I thought that scene was pretty funny because it's almost like it kind of reminded me of one of those scenes in old school Looney Tunes and Tom and Jerry, where it's like one person is getting chased by the other, and then the other person, like the person that's getting chased, stops and put on disguise, and they say, "Oh, they went over that way," and then the person that was chasing them walks over that way. It kind of reminded me of that, even though that's not really what happened. But I just kind of got that same feel where it's like, "Hey, what are you guys doing here?" "Oh, I'm taking this pirate over to the brick." "Okay, carry on." What you think of that?
Yeah, I agree with that. Oh my gosh, it's so annoying. All right, I might have to leave for now.
And then, so yeah, they finally get to the map room, and if you guys look at the screen here, you can see that there's a little axe hand to the right here. Luffy accidentally pulls on that, and it opens up a secret compartment, which I still thought that was even more funny because I was like, my man is so the fact that they really did pull a Scooby Doo s type thing where it's like, how are we gonna find this? And the main character accidentally bumps into something, and it just reveals what they're looking for. I thought that was actually hilarious. And it was like, oh, here's it is. That oddly worked. And let's see here. Do you want to just fast forward to the fight scene?
Sure.
Alright, so let me lead up to the fight scene. So, Captain Morgan finds the two people the two officers that Nami beat up and knocked them out cold. He realized that Nami pickpocketed him and took the keys to his office, and he was like, "Oh wait, those guys are intruders." So he runs back to the office, tries to open up the office, and Luffy pretty much literally like legit just pulls the what's it called? The safe out of the ground, because that's where the safe is at. The safe is literally in the ground. He pulls it out, sends him and Nami flying to the courtyard, where they're fighting, like they kind of fall not into a pit, but like a bunch, like pretty much all the Marines in the base finds them, and they start fighting, and then you see Zoro run through the well, no, before we get there, we cut over to Zoro trying to find his swords, and we see a scene of Helmeppo playing. I don't, because it's. I'm gonna say pause on this one. I'm gonna pause it right now. But we see Helmeppo playing with Zoro's sword, and Helmeppo gets scared because it's like he literally just got beat up by Zoro. He's scared of Zoro, and so he pretty much like, and then Zoro pretty much beats him up and cuts his hair. B, if am I missing anything here?
Uh, that's about right. He wants his sword back, so he messes him up for it. Honestly, he should have caught him naked in his playing with his sword. Pause.
He said, "Yeah, you're gonna have to pause it there."
I know. I just heard it when I said it.
So yeah, when we first meet Helmeppo, he has the longer hair. Zoro finds him paused playing with his sword, and Zoro pretty much beats him up and cuts his hair, and now it looks like the blueberry chick from freaking what's it called?
Charlie and Chocolate Factory.
Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. And so we cut over to Nami and Luffy still fighting in the courtyard. Zoro comes running through, and he's kind of faced with a dilemma here, where it's either he just runs and escapes, or he helps Nami and Luffy out. But he chooses to help Nami and Luffy out because he wants to pay back Luffy for setting him free. And so he jumps into the fight. So Zoro joins the party. Yeah, Final Fantasy reference there. And then let's see here. So then now Captain Morgan comes out, and now it's a 3v1, which I thought was pretty cool because the way how I felt like they did the shot was like, oh snap, here comes the final boss. So I thought that was pretty cool. And so now it's the Straw Hat Pirates. I'm gonna put that in quotations because they're not the Straw Hats just yet. Versus Morgan. Then Nami realizes that there's more Marines coming, so she sets out and just fight and just kind of plays backup to Zoro and Luffy. While Zoro and Luffy handles X Hand Morgan, Nami handles kind of like the riffraff around. Which I'm kind of happy that they didn't make Nami kind of like the weakling, like she actually still held her own. What you think about that?
Well, yeah, I agree with you. And I know, but thing is, we all knew that Nami wasn't weak. Before she even started using like weather stuff,
Mm-hmm.
she literally had her bow staff, and That's how she was fighting off anybody when she was running from pirates. Like that's how she was stealing their gold or treasure, and always fighting them off by using either agility or she had a bow staff.
That is true. I forgot she. I mean, I knew she was good with the staff, but I completely forgot that she can do that.
That's why she ends up using the climate attack later on.
So it kind of gives her more range to work with.
Yeah, it's a staff, but also it lets her control the weather basically. So yeah,
Facts. So then, what's it? Where we at? Where we at? Because we're winding down now. Because I don't think. Yeah, I got one more page of notes to go through. And then so, Luffy and Zoro, I ain't gonna say they're getting their asses handed to them, but like Morgan's pretty much putting up a good fight against these two here. And Morgan like kind of gives an uppercut to Zoro, and then Luffy like gives an uppercut to Zoro and Luffy, and then Luffy for a second like kind of thought and said like, "Hey, wait a minute," and Luffy tells Zoro to like this shows like the teamwork that Zoro and Luffy are going to start having a little bit more. Where like Luffy pretty much tells Zoro to go low, and then Luffy is going to go high,
other way
and
around. But yeah,
other way around. No, I thought he did tell Zoro to go low. It
uh,
don't matter.
yeah, that's right. Never mind.
Yeah,
Zoro go low, Luffy go high. Yeah,
and then we finally get to see Zoro use three sword style, and then he
right.
puts on a headband. So, and I ain't gonna lie, he looks like Zoro when he did it. Let me see. Even though this isn't the scene here, but essentially, but he looked dope doing it. He looked like Zoro. I gotta get because I'm so used to seeing Zoro with the scar, so I gotta like, oh yeah, he didn't have the scar at first. So yeah, he gets
Yeah,
like he looks dope. He looks dope. He looked like Zoro pretty much. And I know all the fangirls are simping over this dude right now. But
of course they are.
exactly.
They are. They are.
I hear Amani excitedly saying, "Oh, they are. They are."
Uh huh.
Yeah, so yep, Zoro goes low, Luffy goes high, and he's not using Onigiri, is he?
Mm,
He's just kind of using a regular
no,
old three sword style attack, right?
I think so. Because he didn't say it out loud.
True. And then so And
Although
of course, Luffy's impressed with Zoro's three sword style because Luffy says also because if you guys kind of go back to when I was saying that Kobe and Luffy were sitting there on a dinghy. Yep, thank you. So Chad over here said no, that wasn't on Gary just yet. Thank you, I appreciate it. You the best. And so he if you guys go back to what I was saying before when Kobe and Luffy are on their dinghy like talking about the fight, Luffy was kind of like, I wonder where he puts the third sword at. And then we finally see, Zoro put the third sword in his mouth. And Luffy says, oh, so that's where he puts it. So I thought that was kind of funny. And,
You know something, though? I feel
mhm.
like that goes back to that meme with the third sword being in his butt crack. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, I'm about to look it up now.
I'm about to say, I know somebody knows what I'm talking about.
Here it is. Oh, that's
Yep.
if he did four sword style. So yeah,
Yeah. That's so weird.
that'd be kind of funny if like Oda actually makes this as like a legit thing.
I feel like it would be a weird attack. Like all the blades are like on his back, like pointed backwards. That's the only way I see this working.
Shadow said Zoro needs some training like Killer B.
Like Killer B, why Killer B?
Oh, Killer B literally just puts two swords on his shoulders, and he's like, "All right, this is balanced enough."
I don't know how Killer B does it. That's crazy.
That's what makes him the goat. The goat. And then, so yeah, Zoro knocks back Morgan, and Luffy comes in with a gum whip. And then, isn't that the scene where he says all great fighters yell out their finishing moves?
Yep.
Yep. And which we're going to discuss that a few more episodes down because a certain someone does the same exact thing, and Zoro gets kind of mad about that.
Yep. Then he doing it too.
And then now Morgan and all the Marines have been beaten. Luffy, Nami, and Zoro make their way back to the docks with the safe that they stole that has the map of the Grand Line in it. Helmeppo catches up with the crew, and then he pretty much just kind of tells them like, "Hey, come with me. You're under arrest." But they're all like, "No."
Exactly.
And so Kobe punches. No, Luffy tells Nami and Zoro he can't leave without Kobe, but Kobe punches Helmeppo and he tells them, "I'm not going with you because I want to follow my passion of being a great Marine." So Luffy and Zoro shake hands. It's just like, I pretty much will see you out on the sea, pretty much. And then now we cut over to Garp's ship, which is HQ3, with the little dog and the dog bone on it. And we see both Garp and for some odd reason, someone who's getting a little bit more recognition in the ant community now, Bogart. B, do you know about Bogart?
Is that the guy that's always by him?
Yep, with the tuxedo.
Okay, yeah, I'm about to say, hold on. I don't ever recognize that name.
Yeah, so his name is Bogart, who's based off of Humphrey Bogart from Castlevania, is it? Is that the movie? We're just going to say that is.
Okay.
The comments section will completely ruin me. Not ruin me, but they'll correct me if I'm wrong. Right. So they're saying that they're liking Garp's ship in this one. But we see both Garp and Bogart on a ship. and they got notification that a certain pirate has raided the base of the 153rd base, and he's wearing a straw hat, and you can tell just kind of from Garp's reaction that, oh, that's Luffy, because we already know the connection that Garp and Luffy has, that
Yeah.
they're grandfather and grandson. I tried to kind of spin it in a way in my own head canon, saying like he's thinking that's maybe Shanks.
Thanks. That's why you know what? Literally, when I watched it, that's literally what I said. I say he could automatically think it's Luffy because he know Luffy has that straw hat on his head, or
Exactly.
he could think it's Shanks, and he not and may not know that Luffy has the hat.
But that's why I was thinking too. Like he doesn't know that Luffy has the head, but at the same time, nah, because that's but no, it's not really
Yeah,
fully spoilers.
I
Yeah,
know,
because
because
we find out and like later on in a later
he wrote,
episode that he see like
yeah,
in the flashback we see Luffy with the head.
yeah, he trains him or throws him into the forest.
And then let's see. So let's read the comments here. So Shadow says, Shadow, shout out to you with all the One Piece knowledge here. So he said Bogart's name was released in the SBS and in the anime credit scene. And those who don't read the manga would be lost since dude appears in the cover story of Diary of Kobe and Helmeppo. So pretty much like those cover stories that Oda does. Actually, perfect. So this is the cover story right here. It's like a good one of the scenes from the cover story.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, and then this is Bogart's live action. He kind of looks like him. I mean, we see more of his eyes. But yeah, and then last scene, the man, the myth, the legend, Buggy D Clown. Even though it's just Buggy the Clown, but I'm calling him Buggy D Clown. I ain't gonna lie. Before I continue, I was gonna say, I just want to make sure I'm not the only one. But did you get Joker vibes from him?
That's what it seemed like. Like he seemed like way more sadistic than I expected him to be.
Mm.
But then I was like, "You're right. That is giving sort of Joker vibes." And
And
then I realized later on he's probably going to be like clown down when because he's going to be more comic relief. Like this is probably the most savage we're going to see him for now.
exactly. Shadow says, early Buggy was a menace, like which
Oh
he was.
yeah,
Like people forget how, because they're so used to seeing Buggy now, but they forgot when Buggy first showed up. He was like, "Hey yo, how Luffy gonna beat this guy? This man could literally separate his body at will."
exactly.
And then so yeah, we get introduced to Buggy, who has a bounty of 15 million berries. And I ain't gonna, so I want to bring this back here. I like that when they introduce people's bounties and then the bounty covers them up, but then like the pirate snatches their or destroys
They
their
can move
bounty
it away,
poster. Yeah, I like that.
like how Buggy just was. He clawed it away.
Yep. So
Yeah,
yeah, we've gotten so yeah, we finally meet Buggy the clown, or Buggy D Clown, because
you
everybody
know,
think. Go ahead.
I'm not accepting that. I'm not accepting he has a D.
Buggy has a D in his name. I don't know
No,
what you're
I
talking
can't.
about. I literally typed it in. You can see it right there in the Google search. I literally typed in Buggy D Clown and he showed up.
Just because you typed it in doesn't matter. Google does not know.
Google does know, because if I type in like War and Bossing Say,
Bro, no.
but listen, Google knows. Warren Bossing Say, there's no Warren Boss. Do you mean there's no Warren Bossing Say?
That we all know there was a war in Boston saying.
I don't know. Google said there wasn't a Warren Bossing say. But yeah,
Oh,
that was the first episode of the One Piece live action. Oh yeah, and I didn't say this yet, but the title of the first episode was Romance Dawn, which is also the title of the first chapter and the title of the first episode of the anime, which I thought was pretty cool. So, do you think they're going to follow? Because so far they have done that, but do you think they're going to follow like each like episode title is going to be the title of like a chapter?
I think so, or at least whatever chapter is like playing the most significance in that episode.
Yeah,
If they mix chapters.
nice. So yeah, y'all, thank y'all for the for being here for the One Piece live action first episode review. We'll discuss it later. But yeah, now we're going to play some. You want to play Call of Duty?
Yeah, down.
All right, cool. So yeah, man, let me just end the recordings real quick. Even though I'm not stopping the stream, this is just my sign off. But thank y'all for watching the video, man. Make sure y'all stay safe out there. Thanks again to High Vibes, HV Nimbus, not High Vibes, HV Nimbus for joining us. And we'll be back for the next episode breakdown.
My lord. What? Oh, well, you need to address the village about everything that's going on. All right. Hand me my drip. Here you are, my lord. Thank you. Lord 17, where did you get that? Oh, I got this from Kage Cat. Oh, you never heard of it? Well, they sell really dope merch there. And if you're interested, definitely hit them up. Link to their website will be in the description and comment section down below.